Hey, this is Bryan, and thanks for watching Kies Motorsports. If you like our videos, give us a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe and check us out at KiesMotorsports.com. Today, we're going to give you a high-level overview on how to install charge pipes in an MST intake on an M2 competition. So not only did our customer drive over 4.5 hours to get here, but check this out. His car only has 488 miles, and most of those were from his drive down today. The first part of this process is we need to start by removing this amazing carbon fiber strut brace. Now to do this, you're going to want to start with a 10mm. Carefully twist these counterclockwise. There's just 3 of these little plastic nuts. Then over here, there's a plastic fastener. So what you do is you remove the middle, just like that. You may need a trim tool to get it loose. And you just pull up on the rest. And the bottom portion will pop out. Looks just like that. Once you've done that, simply remove this piece and do the exact same thing on the other side. Then there's one more push pin down here that needs to be removed. So once again, get the middle, pull that out, and then you can pull out the entire clip. All right, once that is all out of the way, there's a 10mm right here. So just carefully remove this. Once that 10mm is removed, it is time to remove the 6 13mm that secure the carbon strut brace. So what I like to do is I like to start by hand and then go back with my impact driver and remove them just to make it a little bit quicker. Now, when you're removing these bolts, you will notice that the 4 in the back are longer, they look like this, and the 2 in the front are shorter. So when you remove them and you're like, oh no, they're different sizes, just remember the shorter ones go in the front. Once you've removed everything, what you want to do is put the rubber to the side here and do the same on this side. Then put the carbon strut in a safe location. Now with the carbon strut removed, what we can do is we can remove the engine cover here. It's just held in by a couple different grommets. So just lightly pull up on it and you'll hear them snap out. Okay? And as you can see, there's just 4 locations where this is held in place. Now throughout this video, we may not do things in perfect order, say if you're just installing charge pipes or just installing the intakes, because we're just doing both at the same time to give you just kind of a high level overview. So next what we're going to do is I am going to remove the air box so that we can get to the charge pipe. So to do that, press on this little tab right there, remove your mass airflow sensor. If you loop it right like that, it's gonna stay out of your way, which is nice. Next, what you wanna do is you want to release this screw. If you have some kind of driver like this, typically it's about 1/4 inch. You can just use your driver, which makes it super simple. And pull this hose off. And then what you wanna do is just kind of hold that back and then release this. Again, there's just a couple of those different grommets that hold it into place. And then this entire piece will pull out. Now what we're going to do is there is another hose clamp that needs to be removed right back there. So again, use your driver, loosen this clamp back here. Then you can get this entire piece and just wiggle it off like that. Now if you look right here, you will see that there is another 10mm bolt. So at this time, we can remove this, and then we can remove this inlet. Now be very careful not to drop anything in there. What I would recommend is take a microfiber towel and just stick it in there just to make sure that this screw isn't accidentally going to drop in. Then what you can do is you can take this piece, just gently wiggle it off of the turbo, pull it out just like that, and before you go far, take a clean microfiber towel and just tuck it into the turbo, just to make sure that nothing is going to accidentally fall in. Now while you're down here, it's a good time to grab an E10, so it's an E-Torx, and we're going to release the bolt that holds our charge pipe to our turbo. So at this time, what we're going to do is we're going to loosen it, but we are not going to completely remove it. And here's a look at what that looks like. Then what you want to do is take an E10 and release the other charge pipe from the turbo. Again, we're just removing the bolt. We're not actually removing anything at this point. Okay. Again, that is a look at what the bolt looks like. Next, what you want to do is, again, take a 1/4 inch driver and release this hose clamp. You want to get it nice and loose and do the exact same thing on the other side. Now at this point in the process, the charge pipes are loose. You want to be very careful of this tab. If you just try to pull this straight back, you will break this tab and this tab. So the trick is to gently pull it up ever so slightly and then gently slide this off just like that. And then while you're here, you take another microfiber towel that's brand new and clean, just stick it in the turbo to make sure nothing accidentally falls in. Then do the exact same thing on the other side. Again, you want to start by lifting up and slide this off just like that. And then you can just very carefully rock this down and pull it out. Now the charge pipes that we're installing today are from VRSF. Now something very important about VRS charge pipes is they come with a meth bung, which is awesome. However, they always come loose, so you want to make sure that you really tighten that down to make sure you're not going to get any boost leaks. Speaking of boost leaks, you need to remove the O-rings from your stock charge pipes. They look just like that. And what you do is you press it in this little ridge right down here. So just take your O-ring, pop it down there, make sure it sits nice, flat, and even. Then you can do the exact same thing on the other side. At this point, we're ready to reinstall them. Now here's what I like to do for this next part. I like to take my coupler and push it on pretty far, just like that. And then take this end, go up from the bottom, and then swing this end over and gently put it on the turbo. Then before I push it down all the way, I take my clamp and I have it super loose, and I put one on like that, and I put the other one on just like this. Again, you want to keep these super loose at this point, and then gently line it up with the charge air cooler. And then you want to be pushing it on the turbo while taking this coupler and sliding it back onto the charge air cooler. Then what you want to do is you want to have these sitting nice and flat so nothing hits the hood when it closes. And then you can very carefully tighten these down. Once you've done that, you can install the new bolt and washer that's provided by VRSF and secure the charge pipe to the turbo. Then you can do the exact same thing on the other charge pipe. All right, at this point in the process, the charge pipes are fully installed, and that matte black just looks incredible. So with the charge pipes fully installed, we can work on the intakes now. So first thing we're going to do is remove this coolant line from here. We'll just set this up here out of the way. Then you can release this hose clamp. Then on this side, we have a mass airflow sensor. So just press down this little tab and this will slide right off. Just tuck that out of the way. Then there's a vacuum line. The way that these work, or there's a little clip on this side and a little clip on this side. So you get the ridges, you press left and right, and then you'll be able to wiggle that off. So again, there's a little clip up top, little clip down bottom. But when you press on it like that, it'll spread the clips so you can slide it off. With all that done, you can pinch this little tab right there, start to separate this part of the intake. And then over here, it's just held in by a few grommets. So all you need to do is just very carefully start to rock it up, and you'll hear the grommets disengage. Just pull it out just like that. So once again, there's a place right here that goes into a rubber grommet, and then one over here. Then before we go any further, take a brand new microfiber towel and just stick it in the inlet, again, making sure that nothing is going to accidentally fall in. Now what we need to do is we need to prep the new intake for installation. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take the passenger mass airflow sensor. We're going to remove it from the OEM intake and install it on the MST. Okay, this one's done. Let's do the other. Next, what we're going to do is we are going to assemble the new air boxes. So you're going to disassemble your factory airbox because we're still going to utilize the bottom portion of these. So with a T20, remove all the torque screws that hold your airbox together. Then what you can do is separate the top from the bottom and set the top in a filter in a safe location. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to take the lower portion and we're going to install the top portion here with the MST logo on it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to use the supplied Phillips head screws and you're going to screw this to your intake box. Okay, and here you can see everything is fully installed. Now what you can do is the exact same thing on the other side. All right, so at this point, we can remove our towel from the turbo and reinstall our inlet here. Just gently slide that down. You'll feel it engage with the turbo. We can take our bolt and reinstall it. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to install our MST coupler. This is going to go right over here. And this is going to get secured with an 8mm. Then you can slide on your hose clamp. Then the next part of this process is to install your airbox. So remember, these two tabs right there are going to go into the grommets, and then this piece of plastic is going to slide into the other. So be very careful when you're doing that. Make sure that everything is properly aligned. Now if you look down here, you'll see that there is a little plastic tab, and then down here there is a groove. So you want to just press this down and make sure that that all slides into place. Then what you can do is take the top piece here, just carefully insert it into the coupler and then tighten it down. Then what you can do is take your new filter, make sure you have a hose clamp on there. Just gently rock it in, just like that. And then you can take your hose clamp and with an 8mm again, you can tighten it down. Once you've done that, you can reinstall your mass airflow sensor, and this side is done. We just need to do the exact same thing on the other side. And at this part of the process, the MST intake and charge pipes are fully installed. We just need to reinstall the carbon strut brace and we're done. At this part of the process, the MST intakes and charge pipes are fully installed, and this is Domingo, the car's owner, and this is by far the youngest car that we've ever had in the shop at under 500 miles. So yes. What do you think?
It's awesome. Amazing work, top notch.
Hope you enjoy your newfound monster.
Just can't wait to drive it now.
Once again, this is Brian. Thanks so much for watching Kies Motorsports. If you were looking for any of the products that you saw in today's video, be sure to see the links in the description below. If you haven't done so already, be sure to give us a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe and check us out at KiesMotorsports.com for all your BMW retrofit, performance, and aesthetic needs. Once again, my name is Brian. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.